and welcome back to this week's episode of Screening Room, where this week we'll be talking about our favorite 90s comedian. So stay tuned for this next episode of Screening Room. Welcome to this week's episode of Screening Room. I'm Stephanie Sharpie.
I'm Ashley Wasson.
And I'm Cole Zerbel.
All right, and this week's topic of choice will be honoring the late and great comedy legend and Wisconsinite, Chris Farley, and his many comedic roles which defined a decade. We'll be discussing and sharing his iconic roles in films such as 1995's Tommy Boy, 96's Black Sheep, and one of his final films he made before his untimely death, Beverly Hills Ninja.
Okay, so first off, we're going to start with Tommy Boy. And after 7 years of college, Tommy Calhoun III decided that he's going to go back home and work at his father's auto parts plant. And when he goes back home, he gets two surprises. One of which is that he gets his own office, and the second one is that his father is getting married. He's very excited about both of these and decides that he's excited to be home from college. However, at the wedding, there's a tragedy that occurs that means Tommy Boy has to take over for his father's company. He's put into a sales position with his father's right-hand man, Richard, and they're sent across country to try to sell his products since his father is no longer able to do so. Will they be able to sell all that they need to sell to save the company or not? Let's take a quick look at the trailer to find out.
Holy shnikes.
Is that for me?
No, son, that's for me.
You know, a lot of people go to college for 7 years.
I know. They're called doctors.
There's always has been, always will be, a family firm.
Oh, son of a...
Someday my son will run it.
Luke, I am your father. Lalo.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
That's my name.
Yeah, that's your new office now.
Whoa.
Do we really want to put the future of the company in Tommy's hands?
Promise me you'll look after Tommy Boy here till he gets his feet wet.
Sure, and thanks for choosing me. Hey, Tommy, this is not a vacation for me. I'm out here against my will, so the least you can do is pretend to work. Oh, I can actually hear you getting fatter. All right, it's sale time, so remember, we don't take
No for an answer.
No.
Okie dokie.
I'm gonna pass.
Gotcha, thanks. Oh, son of a... That's gonna leave a mark.
Okay, let's check you out. All right.
It's a clip-on.
Hi, are you sure?
Can't breathe.
He's a big dumb animal, isn't he, folks?
No, son of a... What'd you do? I'm a maniac on the floor.
Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid?
Why?
As you can see, we follow the adventure of a quirky, somewhat immature Chris Farley as Tommy Boy, and see his relationship with David Spade and the tensions that come with that. And what did you guys think? Or what are your first thoughts about the movie?
I honestly believe that it is going to be comedic gold. It is comedic gold, especially with a lot of the physical comedy that happens. There's always the table being smashed, as well as I don't know, like when he runs face first into the glass wall. I feel like a lot of us have personally had that experience. I know I have. So yeah, what did you think?
I think Tommy Boy is an instant classic. One thing about like Chris Farley and David Spade together, like they always seem to create such great comedy. I honestly like it's not like just like you chuckle when you watch the movie, like you're belly laughing, like sometimes end up on the floor. That's how funny they are together.
Sometimes you break a coffee table. Anyway, yeah, I just think it's a really good classic movie. Instantly, it's just always been like a favorite of mine. Yeah.
I agree. I've always really liked this movie. And from the time that it got released to now, it's made over $32 million. One thing that is interesting is a lot of critics don't like it, which, I mean, it's not really that surprising. But I feel like so many people like this movie, even though, I mean, it's been on the worst movies list by a lot of critics. But
Yeah.
I think most people really enjoy it.
See,
so.
that's like the reason I think a lot of critics don't like it is because you can't go into it expecting like like the best acting in the world. Like it's a lot of these, especially a lot of like the little snippets and parts of the movie are based on SNL skits, so they're based on hokey characters, and so it's going to be a lot of really cheesy acting and lines and like really physical comedy. So
Yeah.
that's
Not only that, but even I know in interviews with David Spade, he talked about the fact that when they first got the script for the movie, it was only like a max of 30 pages.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is just like ad lib, things that happen off scenes that weren't ever supposed to make it into the movie, and just the like dynamic relationship between the two main actors.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it just comes from their friendship and their relationship in the past. So
Yeah.
it's not like it's a full scripted.
Yeah, a lot of
movie.
it was ad-libbed, and because I think, honestly, having a lot of that movie being ad-libbed is what made it so instantly classic, is because it's just, like, a lot of that stuff you can't plan it either. Like,
Right.
Like the scene where, like, he's backing up and, like, you break the car door, and we all have that moment where sometimes, like, you accidentally scratch mom or dad's car, and you're just like, and you gotta blame it on the sibling or something, you're just like, why'd you do that? So, I don't know, it's definitely, like, really relatable to a lot of people, as well as a lot of stuff that I don't think you could plan, and that's what makes it a good movie.
Oh, yeah. And I know a lot of it, since it wasn't planned, they did have time that they were flying between SNL and this movie, so the writers could write a little bit more, but I think the ad lib is a lot nicer. However, we will take a minute here and go ahead and look at this week's episode of Perfect Pets.
My name is Josie. I love being scratched underneath my neck and getting loved. I need a home.
Hi, I'm Casanova. I'm practically fearless in the way that I'm not afraid to say hello.
My name's Tyson. Be careful when you pet me. I'll start licking and giving you a little love nibble.
I'm Autumn. I'm only 8 months old, but they say I'm the sweetest and most snuggly girl ever.
To find out more about adoption for these pets or others, contact the Cooley Region Humane Society at 781-4014.
And again, that information for the Cooley Humane Society is 781-4014. Welcome back. So next we're going to talk about Beverly Hills Ninja, my personal favorite. It follows Chris Farley, starring as the unusual ninja in his over-the-top comedy. It's about an elite society of Japanese warriors who've prophesized that one day a blonde hair and fair-skinned child will come to their village and lead them as a fighter of like remarkable awesomeness. So eventually, Chris Farley, as a small child, comes to them and they believe that this is this prophesized child. So they raise him, and it turns out that they were wrong, basically. And he's just this really loud, obnoxious, uncoordinated, inept warrior, and they're just like, oh, what did we get ourselves into? But Haru that's Chris Farley's character. He fights through it, and he's like, no, I can do this, and he believes it himself, so I find that really inspiring as well. Throughout the movie, he gets his first assignment accidentally when the really young, beautiful character comes in and says, I need protection. So she hires Haru in kind of a really funny comedic scene. And he goes to Beverly Hills to protect her, but his mentors kind of are just like, no, I don't think this is right. So they send another ninja to help him secretly, and a lot of comedy ensues. So, but before I give too much away, let's take a look at the trailer.
In the secret clan of the ninja, there is a legend that foretells a foreign child will come among them and become a ninja master unlike the world has ever seen. They believe this was the child. They were wrong. Now,
Hello?
a mysterious stranger needs his help.
I must go to the hills of Beverly, find Sally Jones and save her. Bye, everyone!
You're going with him. No, please. Anything but that.
He must return to the land of his birth
What are you doing here? I have come many miles and now travel disguised as a pimp to help you.
and use the ancient teachings of the ninja
You're a ninja? You know, I took a few karate lessons myself. I mean, I'm not as advanced as you. I'm what you might call a tangerine belt.
to seek out the truth.
I am preparing one of our greatest ninja tools, the laughing mushroom. Stanley is a killer. He killed her sister.
And prove to the world
I am one with the universe. I am one with the universe. No, I am not.
that he is the great white ninja.
My identity must remain secret. I cannot reveal it to you.
Why not?
Because I would then have to kill you.
TriStar Pictures presents a film that puts the mortal back in combat. Chris Farley,
I am a trained master in each of the weapons of battle. Man, that was dope!
Beverly Hills Ninja.
What a fool I was.
All right, welcome back. So personally, I love this movie. There's a lot of like physical comedy and stunts, as well as like all these other just gag after gag. I really like it. Like it's just nonstop laughter throughout the whole thing every time I watched it. So what did you guys think about it?
I definitely love the like physical comedy of it and how like awkward and uncoordinated everything is and all of the mishaps that happen in the movie. And like you said, it is a lot of like gags and super funny jokes, and it's a lot of guttural laughing throughout the whole thing. What about you?
I once again, like Chris Farley, he just never fails. But I think this movie is so overshadowed by Tommy Boy that a lot of people like forget about it, and it is really funny. And I just think like the whole like he looks so out of place with like his body shape as a ninja, but it just like adds to the comedy, and I think it was an extremely good film and made me laugh the entire time. So
yeah, definitely referring back to Tommy Boy. There was like the signature fat guy in a little coat where he like ripped his coat. That it happened definitely a lot in with like his ninja suit, and he ripped that. A lot of the gags, again, like he would run into stuff like a lot in his other movies, so they repeated a lot of things, and it's definitely underappreciated, like Cole said. But I still definitely agree that it's one of the best comedy movies I think I've seen in a really long time, and I don't think anything can top it, really.
No, I think the best thing with all Chris Farley movies is the amount that he does ad-lib. So
yes,
just the amount of, you know, like it's all on screen.
Like chemistry
and it's like the chemistry between the actual characters, and they're just being themselves, not so much having to follow a script, but being able to be like their own funny selves and do whatever they want in a way and act. And I think that's what really brings out this like specific kind of humor in Chris Farley movies.
Yeah, there's a lot of specific kind of humor, and Chris Farley in a lot of SNL skit type movies. I got her like at the end of the movie. I'm not spoiling anything, but one of my favorite kind of gags is when they have to catapult themselves over like a really tall building.
Yes.
So he climbs up a palm tree somehow in like his ninja suit, and he's all just really awesome. And he climbs up a palm tree and he just catapults himself over. And he kind of takes Chris Rock, a fellow SNL cast member, under his wing. And Chris Rock tries to do it, and it takes him way longer than it should, or at least than it took Chris Farley to do it. And he ends up eventually getting over there and helping him in the final, ultimatum battle. And I just really love that scene. So, I don't know, that's one of my favorite.
I think it's kind of hard to expect, like when you are ad-libbing a lot, like it's hard to have like certain specific expectations for how good or bad a movie's going to be, which makes it really difficult. And another reason why I think critics don't always give them the best reviews. But up next we have UWL campus look.
At the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, surround yourself with potential. Surround yourself with lifelong friends. Step on campus and be welcomed with a friendly smile. It's just like home. Surround yourself with nature's beauty. Nestled in western Wisconsin's driftless area, it's perfect for learning. Hike the bluffs, bike the marsh, soar. Surround yourself with challenging academics. Our motto is Men's Corpus Gay, Latin for mind and body. Experience a whole education. Conduct research. Surround yourself with distinction. Surround yourself with UW-La Crosse.
Welcome back to the screening room. Now we will be looking at another Chris Farley comedy, Black Sheep. In this comedy, handsome, smooth-talking Al Donnelly is engaged in a very heated governor race for the state of Washington against the current governor, Tracy. Tracy finds that Al Donnelly's one Achilles heel is his younger brother, Mike Donnelly, played by Chris Farley. So Al assigns Steve Dodds to keep Mike under constant surveillance, and Steve Dodds is played by David Spade once again, the two coming together to work on another comedy. Mike Donnelly finds himself in constant trouble, whether that be just bad luck or being set up by other people. It's a constant effort by Tracy to win the election, so she's setting up Mike in ways to make him look like he's burning down the rec center that he just recently got fired from. And there's constant media trying to take pictures of him getting in trouble. So coming up next, we'll be taking a look at the trailer for Black Sheep.
Al Donnelly might just be the next governor of Washington State.
All the way to the Capitol!
There's only one small problem. His brother, Mike.
What the hell is a marquee doing here?
His heart is in the right place. Unfortunately,
Okay, see Al.
the rest of him never is.
Oh my God!
We've got to keep this bozo under wraps.
So now they have to find someone
Then I am your man.
to keep him under control.
Okay, good first day.
I want you to do exactly as I tell you.
Yeah, okay, keep talking.
I know a place way outside of town.
Bunk beds. I got dibs on tap.
Okay.
I got dibs on top, Bug. Shut up!
So what do you want to do today?
No!
What's that black thing?
Whoa! Ah! What are you doing? Give these got on my belt. Boy, I feel like a horse's patoot.
Paramount Pictures presents
Are you or are you not the Black Angel of Death?
Chris Farley,
Power to the people! Oh, God, I'm a dead man.
David Spade,
Hey, gang. Is there an Opie convention in town?
The night
this oxide's leaking into the car.
In a new comedy from the director of Wayne's World.
Check this out. This whole fridge is held up here just by this plug.
Black Sheep.
You okay?
I'm just dandy. I got a bowl of chocolate pudding in my underpants.
We didn't have any pudding in there, buddy.
There's one in every family.
As you can see, Chris Farley in this movie is constantly finding himself in extremely painful but yet hilarious situations, whether it be getting every single part of clothing getting caught in some kind of moving vehicle, or getting attacked by a bat and get hit with a broom trying to kill the bat constantly until he is on the ground and the bat still somehow is alive. He can't seem to win. His brother, who's running for governor, even ends up having him sent to a cabin in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere, and he still is constantly finding himself in trouble time and time again. So what do you guys think about this movie?
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say that this movie is so relatable, with a lot of just wrong place, wrong time. We've all been in those moments. It's definitely just a lot of, we can relate to maybe not getting like catapulted on an antenna because something got stuck on our belt, and then, I don't know. I haven't done that. I hear it's fun. Anyway, but yeah, it's definitely relatable, especially, a lot of camping nostalgia as well. Saying like, oh, I call Top Bunk when you go over to summer camp or something. That's actually one of my favorite scenes, when like the roof all of a sudden comes off and hail comes down. David Spade starts making fun of him because there's hail coming down and he's on the top bunk. So yeah, it's just a really good movie. And also David Spade and Chris Farley, like the perfect dynamic duo with like satire and ad-lib comedy. So.
Oh yeah, one thing about the whole duo between David Spade and Chris Farley is that, I don't know, that Shrek was, like, Shrek and Donkey from Shrek are based off of like their relationship and their personalities.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
and
cool.
Yeah, Chris Farley was actually supposed to be the voice of Shrek before he passed away. And they have like film reels of him doing some of the voices, which are pretty cool. But yeah, it's really interesting to see that like all of, not only us, but even like Hollywood realizes that relationship that you're talking about and built it into a huge movie.
Oh, definitely, yeah. They're really, I don't know, they're just really iconic, and just the way that they so easily play off each other. I think that's really cool, and it's really hard to find, especially with a lot of actors. Because sometimes you got to force, compatibility and stuff between actors, but they were just so natural, starting out on like a comedy skit show like Saturday Night Live. Like it's so natural and easy to just like get into, and the story is just so uproariously funny and just outlandish. So
yeah, I think a lot of critics for this movie talk about how like it's basically Tommy Boy 2, like that was successful, so they just tried to create the same scenario in a different way. Like things are going wrong and he's trying to fix it, but nothing goes right even when it does go right. And I don't know, I see where some of them are coming from with aspects of it, but at the same time I think it's a very different story, and I think it's mainly just because it's the same two actors. But in the long run, I think this was a movie that is its own movie and is Black Sheep, not Tommy Boy 2.
Yeah, I think the whole idea of the movie, I mean, it's got that similarity in the fact that it's somewhat like an everyday situation that could happen, like in a normal society. Normally you're not becoming a ninja, but trying to help your brother out with an election, that's something that is somewhat normal. So I can see that. But one thing is that in this movie, especially, like I like David Spade's part more than in Tommy Boy, just because like in Tommy Boy he's so trying to be so like serious and stern, where it's still comedic, but it's not the like in your face funny that David Spade normally is.
Yeah, so why don't we move on to some related movies, such as a lot of other movies that were based off SNL skits. kind of like Wayne's World that started it off. I think they were made by the same people.
Yep, Wayne's World and Tommy Boy were for sure made by the same people. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like that movie. 1 and 2, they were both. It was filled with like a lot of '90s nostalgia. Chris Farley had a lot of cameo, like little mini parts in it too, as the bus driver. I don't know. I just really like Wayne's World movies. Yeah.
Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth.
And I know we also had kind of talked about the new documentary type movie that was made about Chris Farley, the I Am Chris Farley, that just came out in.
It was July of this year.
This summer.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was more of like a tribute documentary. They actually interviewed a lot of his past castmates from Saturday Night Live, telling about like his past history as well as like on the show, where he came from. They also talked about, because he actually graduated from Marquette University in Wisconsin, and they brought in a lot of the alumni from there as well. And there's actually a scholarship, like a memorial scholarship set up in his name for people attending Marquette University. So I think that's just really awesome of him and his family to set that up.
Right.
So yeah. Other movies?
Another movie that Chris Farley was a star in was Almost Heroes.
It's a good one.
I thought it was a good movie overall, but at the same time, it was like his last movie that he was like the main role in, which was kind of disappointing because I don't know. I liked his other movies more, basically. Like, it was still a good movie, but I feel like you kind of want to go, like, out on top, like many, like, athletes and other actors have. And I feel like it wasn't quite what you would want for his last movie, unfortunately.
Yeah. I feel like the world definitely didn't have enough of Chris Farley. Like, everybody still wants so much more. And I even thinking, like, back to, like, the Shrek, like, how much different I feel like Shrek would have been if he would have been, like, the voice for it. I don't know.
It definitely would have had, like, a different vibe to it, instead of, like, this old Scottish accent that his SNL castmate, Mike Myers, did. I don't know. It would have had, like a bigger, like, probably more obnoxious, maybe not as different, catchier lines about it. I don't know.
Yeah, and it would have brought, like, him and Chris Rock back together and done, you know, that same sort of
that dynamic
duo that we talked about a couple times.
Definitely. I also, going back to Almost Heroes, I actually really like that movie, so I'm going to have to contradict you. I don't know. I think it's just a really great off-brand of Lewis and Clark, and it's and they're exploring the Midwest, which is definitely this region, so I just think it's really good. So why don't we take it on to what's new in theaters that's coming out?
Well, new in theaters, we have the new James Bond movie, Spectre, the Peanuts movie, which is a classic from childhood, Bridge of Spies, Goosebumps, and The Martian. Are there any of those movies that you guys are looking forward to seeing?
I'm definitely looking forward to Spectre because I'm also a huge James Bond fan. John Connery is my favorite, kind of a fan favorite as well. I'm just really looking forward also to Sam Smith's new movie, cover that he made for the movie is also really kind of chilling too, so I think it sets a good tone for it. And then coming soon, new on DVD also, we have Love the Coopers, The Night Before, The Good Dinosaur, and The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Any of those you guys are looking forward to see?
I am so excited about The Hunger Games.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm actually rereading the books right now.
Oh,
so,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Just I read them, I want to say, once in high school. But yeah, they're really good. They're just really catchy. But yeah, so now on DVD, we have Terminator Genesis, Trainwreck, Mr. Holmes, and then Selfless. I personally went and saw Terminator Genesis in theaters, and it was epic. I thought it was a great installment to the franchise, and it had Arnold in it, so you're just like, yes, nostalgia.
No, I want to see a lot of those. I haven't seen them yet. And then at the Riv here in La Crosse, we have Crimson Peak, Sicario, Inside Out, Minions, and The Visit. I've seen Inside Out, and I love it, and I would go see it again.
I took my little sister to go see it, and it's actually like it has a lot of really quotable, really catchy lines, and it's really family friendly, but it'll still keep you like entertained. Still like a lot of like the stomach laughing, just really hardcore. It's really funny, but also has like a deeper meaning to it.
Yeah, and it's not that like your topical like shallow like kids movie. Like it has a lot of things that even adults can take with it.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of good stuff with it. But otherwise, thanks for tuning in this week. Glad you stayed in. Otherwise, thanks for watching. This is Screening Room. Have a nice day.